Just live.
Yeah. Cool.
Testing, testing. 1 second. Live. Okay, I'm going to text you in case you want to see it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 2 of Health is Wealth. We have a very special guest today, Nissim, the founder of Auro Gold. And we're going to also talk about some other things that he's doing. But hey, man, how's it going?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. It's going good. Yeah.
You wouldn't believe every single day we've been getting positive messages about the effects of Auro Gold. Like I'm so surprised at. Well, let me just tell you about what happened with me real quick. So
Yeah.
my whole life I've been like super stiff, like my joints from playing sports and just being really active, and yeah, just putting a lot of toll on my body. And I've never been able to touch my toes for a really long time. And after taking the product, I just had this craving to start stretching. So I started to do yoga like a few days a week, and I started stretching a lot more. And I just feel so much looser and so much more. I just feel so much better in my body. I feel like my skin's getting clearer too from taking the product.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So I thought today we could go into a lot of this page is about creating wealth. A lot of us are on a treasure hunt to create infinite amounts of generational wealth for not just ourselves but for people that we pass down. So I was telling people earlier when I was hyping up this show, it's like treasure isn't always outside of us. There's also treasure inside of us, and through the Chinese medicine system, there's the philosophy of the three treasures, right? Can you tell us more about like what exactly is it?
Okay. So first of all, I'm glad to what you said about stretching. So basically, what's happening to you is that the minerals are decalcifying your joints. So we all have accumulation of calcium deposits from hard minerals that sediment in the body. Um, or more so from also from toxicity that sediments in the body and is not removed properly because due to the lack of minerals in the body, because the minerals in nature is like a filtration system of nature, and if we're not getting the full amount of minerals per day, which is minimum 70 that we're supposed to get from food, and organic has maybe 20, so where's the rest? So stuff is getting accumulated in the body, and people experience stiff joints, uh, a blocked pineal gland, you know, it affects eyesight and just all kinds of manifestations of the basic, the absence of this internal cleansing system, or internal cleaning elements, which are minerals. So what you're experiencing actually is that's a reflection of the body receiving all the elements and doing what it's supposed to do. There's no magic. It's just like I think I addressed that last time. I think how many spark plugs in a car? 6 to 8 or something like that. How about if we drive with two? It will still drive and then it will break down slowly. So is it magic that when we give it, the full spark plugs, the car drives, properly? And of course, other elements that it needs. It's not magic. It's just a system receiving what it needs. It does what it does. Simple as that. The uniqueness and the effectivity and the quickness with oro is because of the minerals are so powerful and so pure. Um, and if it's okay, I want to just a couple things about the oro that came a lot as questions from the people who viewed the show.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I actually thought about one too. Somebody had this interaction with it. Like they started taking a bunch of it, and then they said they got sick from it. Like they had a bad reaction. You remember that question? Let's go into that one first, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. So basically, yes. So basically what happens is um because minerals is the internal cleaning system, the internal filter of the body and of nature. And we as humans got accustomed to live with, you know, 1/5 of what we need in the daily intake of minerals. That means that our body is not having that filter active on a daily basis. Therefore, it's accumulating toxicity on a daily basis, which was supposed to be naturally expelled out, you know. And when we introduce to the body an actual effective cleaning system, it will bring up all kind of accumulated toxicity that's been sitting there and sedimented in the tissues. It will bring it to the bloodstream. So that's it's toxicity that we feel in the bloodstream because it's on its way out. So that period of feeling sick is right. You're feeling sick from stuff that's coming out of the person, you know, in order to be flushed out through the colon and the urine and even the skin. Okay, so it's that it takes a little bit amount of patience for people that start with the minerals um, to really go through that cleaning adjusting time. And then once it's done and they continue to take the minerals as a maintenance on a small amounts just daily in all their liquids, it really is small amounts, then they're good. They have the system is getting the filtration elements and it's working, you know. So um, it's very powerful. And another reason for that is because minerals in nature, they come from volcanic eruptions, and we discussed that a little bit last time. And they form different rock formations. Now what happens is when the minerals flow through nature from like the rain and erosion and wind, they will clean out nature just like a filter of nature, and they will land in different parts like lake beds or the sea or different parts. And when they land in those parts, let's say the volcanic eruption site is here, and they start flowing through nature, the minerals, wind, water, rain, you know, they clean nature, and then they end up here. Wouldn't you agree that when they end up here, they also have accumulated onto them some organic matter on the way of cleaning nature? Okay. Now, here is the thing. There are a lot of mineral supplements which are harvested here. And if you look at a bottle, it looks like a milkshake. It is so thick, okay, because it has a bunch of organic matter as well. Fulvic acid, humic acid, some forms of shilajit, it's very dark. They're all amazing and effective, and they have additional stuff to them. Now, oro is actually harvested from the volcanic site. So it's minerals that have not flowed through nature at all. And they're very strong. And this specific source, the minerals have a magnetic quality. So they literally have an effect where they will bond to toxins inside the water and pull them out of the solution. So if we're looking at a glass of water from the tap, normally we don't really see any toxins floating around because the toxins have strong molecular bonds. They're attached to the water, so they're dissolved. Oro comes in and it loosens these bonds and it undissolves, so to speak, toxins, and they become visible. They sink to the bottom. Now, a lot of people texted me that, hey, what's these strings in the oro itself? What is the why is this? You know, why am I seeing these, you know, things in the oro solution itself? Well, what you're seeing is actually the minerals doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, their magnetic quality is having them clump inside the solution already. Okay, so what you're seeing is what the minerals do. We don't change it, we don't alter it. We literally extract a volcanic eruption site rock into a liquid that is bioavailable, ionic, meaning that is being utilized by the cell and flushed out, utilized, flushed out. So even though there's many minerals in oro that in their heavy metal state Like, let's say, for instance, aluminum in its heavy metal state, detrimental, okay, affects the nervous system. Aluminum in its mineral state is actually crucial to normalize the stomach pH for digestion. Stomach pH is around 1.5 to 2. So you have aluminum in its ionic, in its minerals dissolved salt state, which is responsible to regulate the pH. And that's amazing. Okay. So the minerals in Auro are utilized, flushed out, utilized. That's why you drink them every day. So we can go to three treasures or continue on this.
Let's keep going because this is
Yeah.
someone just asked in the comments. It literally turns the water gold. That's what it does. Like someone asked about the yellow tint. Thought that was pretty cool, the liquid gold. And I want to say one more
Go
thing
ahead.
because I want to verify what you're saying because my dad and my brother both are they sell water softeners, so water treatment. Vegas is the third worst water in the country, and they actually my brother bought the big one, the 32 ounce, and he went and tested the tap water with it, and all the tests were all like the tests were night and day between the Oro Gold water and the tap water, and you could see it all clumped together and everything. So we tested it. It's real, man. It's real.
It's been around for a long time, for more than 4 decades. It's basically a patent to extract the minerals for them to have these qualities that they're having, and assimilation that they're having. So yeah, it is real. And something about, if you already talked about testing, here's something super important. First of all, do not use TDS meters for testing.
Well, yeah,
TDS,
because that are the minerals. Yeah.
exactly. Well, it's obvious to you or a lot of people, hey, it doesn't work. Someone did a return the other day. Yeah, the TDS meter went up. Yeah, total dissolved solids is the minerals themselves that it's capturing. Well, what I'm saying, if I take a glass of water and put the oro and treat it, or let's say that glass of water, I test it for what it has, the way it is, then I add the minerals and I let them work, and then I need to pour this water through a good filter, and then do the retest, because the normal testing devices will detect the toxin, though they don't know if it's neutralized or not. Okay, there is the lab that we use, there's more advanced machines that they'll detect that this chlorine has been transferred from its active form to its inactive form. Okay, most people don't have that lab. You can send it to a lab, feel free. The lab reports are on our website. It's a third-party lab, so they test by EPA standards, NSF standards, and that's how you can actually see if, yeah.
Yeah, well, I feel a major difference. I don't know if this is a common like a benefit, but I just feel like I get these like a lot more downloads of information coming just from taking this. I was going hard on it, but I've been out for a few weeks. But and so many other people, they're saying they just have such a much more positive outlook. Like they're excited to start their day, and that goes to the whole. I read about lithium actually boosting your serotonin. Is that true?
Combats depression. Also, they used it for cancer.
And also, so like that's an example. She legit has different heavy metals in it that are positive too. Is that like another example of some good minerals besides Oro Gold?
Yeah, I wouldn't even call it heavy metals. I would call it ionic minerals or dissolved. Like, salt is minerals. So dissolved salt, like the salt that you have that we all use, is minerals, and it dissolves and it gets assimilated by the body, and tomorrow you'll need more. So I would say minerals that are beneficial, that are adapted for assimilation in a human body or even a plant, are ionic or dissolved salt. They're dissolved salt form, if you will. So Shilajit, yeah, contains different places on the planet. I use Shilajit in my formulas, and we'll talk about that because it's powder form. So yeah.
All right, well, let's go into the three treasures. So, like
Okay.
I said, like we have treasure inside of us, and we have to basically focus on that as well. So, if you could cover what is the three treasures and how we could keep
Okay.
that. Do you use the candle metaphor for it, or what? How do you describe it?
Nice. You did some homework. Or
Yeah, oh
you're
yeah. I'm a big fan of Yeah, herbalism. So the three treasures is
Oh,
someone told me I
wow.
was like super depleted in Jing like
Uh-huh.
a year ago. So I went to like an actual like practitioner.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So Jing, Qi, and Shen are the three energies according to the Chinese medicine. And if we do take a candle, then the Jing is the wax of the candle. The Qi is the flame, and the Shen is the illuminance. Illuminous. Is that how did I say that word? So if we look at it, the Jing in the body is the body, the physical body, and then the Qi is the energy that runs it, and the Shen is more our spiritual component or the radiance. Okay, so there is Chinese traditional medicine, and then there's Taoist. The Taoism is more focused, one, on longevity, two, on the spiritual aspect, and the lifestyle, and they go into energies and past lives, and they're more out there, okay, and meditation, they're a lot of their work, a lot of their herbs, Taoist herbs, are tonic herbs. So tonic herbs can be consumed on a daily basis, and they say that a lot of, there's a whole thing about, I believe it. Anyone else can believe whatever they want, but I choose to believe it, that they would fly from the chi. The Taoist monks, they would levitate from the chi. It's from the chi and specific herbs. For instance, wild red asparagus is like or shatavari, and it's an Indian and Taoist. They used it, and they say that they would levitate from that. So a lot of these movies, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they fly, and I believe it was real on some level. I've seen things that people do with chi. They move stuff, and it takes a lot of practice. Okay, so the Taoist monks are more, they're esoteric. The herbs that they use are herbs that can be taken every day. A lot of the Taoist monks, to create longevity, to maintain longevity in a strong, balanced body and cells, would dose on these herbs. For instance, Shizandra berries, goji berries, all the medicinal mushrooms, reishi, chaga, cordyceps, lion's mane. Those are native to that area as well. We have angelica, white peony, um, even cinnamon, rhodiola, ginseng, chaga. A lot of these herbs, or all of these herbs, can be taken daily, forever. If now the reason I'm saying that, because if we look at Chinese medicine, there's a lot of herbs that are used to cure conditions with Chinese medicine, and you can do a cycle, a 7 to 10 day cycle. After that, they become toxic. Okay,
So that like
so
garlic? Is that like garlic? Isn't garlic like kind
you
of like
know,
toxic in a way?
garlic. That's a conversation, and that's interesting that you brought that up, because in large daily amounts, it's toxic. If we look at Indian medicine or Ayurvedic, there's sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Sattvic foods are the cleanest: herbs, leaves, greens. Tamasic, rajasic are like in the middle, some sugars, some nuts, and like you should eat in moderation. And tamasic are the poisonous ones. So garlic is tamasic, okay, meaning that it is a medicine. Yes, it is a medicine that can be used, for something, and then not too much. So the three treasures in Taoist medicine refer to the Jing, Qi, and Shen, and there are several formulas that balance all the three energies in the body using these Taoist herbs. And the Taoist monks, they would pretty much observe nature and observe animals, what they would do in different times of the year, in different periods where something was going on with their body, which herb they would consume, what they would consume for energy, what they would consume, all. And they literally, it's a medicine that is based on observation of nature and animals, which is that's what for me I really connect with that, because another thing of how I formulate, I don't claim to know better than nature, period. you know uh, to me, nature knows better than me. And if if humans think they know better, then we can see what a mess that we're creating, right? So for me, it's a level, and it took me many years. Like everything that I'm working on is about 25 years of my own self-development work, and tuning in and learning to trust something bigger than me. And even though I studied the herbs and I studied many things, I put all that aside. And when I formulate, yes, I create a list of the herbs, and then I literally, by intuition, I get the amounts of each herb in the formula. And I've tested and verified myself about 4 to 5 times. Like I would erase the numbers. I would leave it like I would leave like the note here, and then I would do it again as a blank note. I would get the same numbers, maybe fluctuation of 0.1, 0.2. So nature is powerful. And why I'm saying this is because I believe in listening to nature, because it has what to tell me. It has secrets. It has wisdom, innate wisdom. It's just like animals. Look at a dog that's standing there, or a cat. They're in the moment. They're tuned in with the vibrations of the planet. They're listening. They're in it. So I want to be that when I formulate. I want to let go and just listen. What's showing up? Indigenous cultures and plant medicine and ayahuasca and mushrooms and things like that. A lot of respect they had to plant medicine, because the shamans or the medicine people in the jungle, they didn't claim to heal. They claimed to listen to the elements. There's a problem, we go and ask the elements, and we respect the elements and listen. Because if I don't respect the elements, then we get all these atrocities and all these things happening, and fires, and nature does what nature does. You can't control it. So I choose to listen to it. Okay. So the three treasures is basically, I have it in capsules and in powder. Most of my formulas I have in capsule and powder. And I'm glad actually that you asked me about this one, because for people that don't know what it is, or didn't research, these herbs are so beneficial that if you take them literally on a daily basis in small amounts, they maintain, they're like adaptogens. So they balance the stress, or they reduce the stress response in the cells, therefore resulting in longevity of the cells all over, systemic. This specific one, like I said, balancing all the three energies in the body, okay, Jing, Qi, and Shen. And you feel free to read about that. There's tons of beautiful videos that go into the depths of it, and it's so beautiful. It's just like, it's a way of living. So as a result of reducing the stress response, then the cell lives longer, i.e., longevity of the human organism. Okay. A lot of the Chinese teas that are administered are great, and they're very difficult to drink. Some people like their taste, and a lot of people it's very difficult to drink, including myself. And why I'm saying that is because normally when you could get all these herbs in a tea and make the tea according to I have to boil it and simmer it for 3 hours, and then strain it and boil it again, etc. It's a whole thing, and it's so difficult to drink. It's really effective, but it's difficult to drink. So in order to get the benefits of that without a gag reflex, and not only that, you have to drink 3-4 cups of that tea a day. So I condensed everything to a powder formula. And it's based on extracts. So an extract of a plant, let's say it's all extracts. So let's say it's goji. So they took 10 kilogram or 10 pounds of goji berries and condensed it into 1 pound. So that's 10 to 1. Okay. And all the herbs here are either 10 to 1 or 20 to 1. If it's mushrooms, which I have here, chaga and agaricus and reishi, lion's mane, they are with 30% beta glucans, which is the active molecule, the immune boosting component in medicinal mushrooms, which is a whole nother conversation. I'll touch on that.
Let me say something real quick for the novices, because
Please.
a lot of these really powerful mushrooms that we're talking about, like lion's mane and chaga and all this stuff, if you may go online and go to Amazon and see a bunch of people selling this shit, but there's no actual active compounds in it. So they're basically just selling you a bunch of powder that your body really can't use and absorb. So that's why we're super careful on what type of products we present, because what he
Yeah,
just mentioned right there, what is it, beta glucan, that's key.
beta
You
glucan.
have to look for that with mushrooms. But yeah, go ahead. But I also want to ask you one more question because of the candle metaphor and how like Jing is the wick, Chi is the candle, and then Shen is the brightness. And I promise you, I've met one of these monks, and yeah, he like jumped so high it was insane. But besides that, when he walked into the room, he had like this glow in his eyes. You could see like this guy is not a normal guy. His eyes are glowing. You could feel a vibrance from him. So is that like like the aura that people give that really pump up their three treasures, or what do you
Well,
think?
it's a balance in all three energies, what you saw, because each one feeds the other. Therefore, it's not just the each one is a result of each one builds on the other. So they need to work together. They need all of them to be balanced. So what you saw, he has a balanced Jing, a balanced Qi, and as a result, the Shen, the illuminance, it shines. Okay, so a Shen is more of a result. You know,
And then you'll
so
see some people and they just look like they're dim, like they have no life force energy. They literally look like zombified. So I've seen that too. So they need to start pumping up these herbs.
yeah, and you know what, and it's constant balance. Look, I'm managing a lot every day, and I choose to take the time off, meditate for an hour and a half, chill, give someone else, something to do, just find that balance. I didn't retreat from life and do the monk thing, in the mountains and do Tai Chi all day, which is amazing. Maybe one day I'll do that, So for now, a lot of people on this call, they're managing a lot. It's really to work with what is so and to manage your body, to manage your state, emotional and mental state are big impacts on the Jing, Qi, and Shen. Um, for going into a little bit of the psychological, limiting beliefs, negative emotions, fears, doubts, etc. So the mental condition um, has a strong impact on the body. Okay, so aside from herbs, aside from the physical, the mental, emotional component, huge. And the monk that you mentioned, they do a lot of that. They do a lot of that component. Aside from the herbs, they meditate a lot. They stay in the light. They're clear. Their energy. So
Yeah, I wanted to bring something up. I kind of just forgot. Yeah, so let's go into. I've talked a lot about this on this show about. I've hyped it up, lion's mane. So I've been a big fan of lion's mane for a while now. I haven't tried your products yet. I got to. I've been more focused on the Auro Gold, but I think lion's mane is an incredible product, and the way I feel on it is probably that's one of my favorite supplements. Can you tell people from more of a scientifical stance on it?
lion's mane is a medicinal mushroom. Again, used in Chinese medicine, used in Taoist medicine mostly. It's culinary. You can cook with it. You can make a tea. Now, the interesting thing with lion's mane is that it battles depression. It reduces fatigue. It increases focus, and it has a regenerating effect on the nervous system. Okay, so if a person would dose just on lion's mane itself for a while, what it will also do, it will also help them resolve old trauma, because old trauma sits in the nervous system and it will bring up stuff. All these mushrooms, if you take reishi. My teacher healed his depression just from reishi, you know. So lion's mane in combination with others, Paul Stamets talks about lion's mane in combination with psilocybin. They both complement each other in order to regenerate the nervous system. So there's a regenerative faculty to lion's mane in terms of um, hearing, or our all our senses, if they are damaged, then we would want to incorporate lion's mane in our diet. And like I said, you can, and you said something about the beta glucans, just to address that, the active components. You're right, 1,000,000%. And one of the differences amongst many of in what I'm doing is that I don't like riding a wave. Oh, the reishi wave. Let's slap a label and make money. Oh, the
A
ashwagandha.
cool trendy label, you know.
I don't like that. I don't like that because first of all, it's dishonest, and second of all, it's riding a wave without even making sure that what I'm supplying is actually quality. And bottom line for me is, if I'm doing something, I do it right. If I don't, no, if it's not right and I'm not there, then I'm not doing it. Period. So I took 20 years to be ready to get these formulas out to the world. And in those years, I've been observing the market and observing the health food arena, and a lot of it, sadly, is hype. Very low grade materials. Um, let's say a lot of medicinal mushrooms are sold with, oh, this has 60-70% polysaccharides. Polysaccharides is a fancy word for starch. The active components is the beta glucans, which are one of the polysaccharides. But if it's not specifying the percentage of beta glucans, then they're boasting on some kind of starchy sugar component that has no value or very minimal value. So those are the cheap ones. You can get a kilogram, which is a lot, that's 2.2 pounds of lion's mane extract with 80% polysaccharides for $40, and it will last you a lifetime. Will it do something? Very minimal. And it's probably some kind of ground up mycelium. So,
Yeah.
the mushrooms I use, first of all, are fruiting body and mycelium, because both have their benefits. Second is also where they're grown. So all the herbs and ingredients that I use, I make it a point to source them from their native land, because the reishi that grows in high elevation on rotten logs is growing there for a purpose, for a reason. That is why it gives the benefits that it gives. And my chaga is sourced in Siberia. It grows on trees and it endures 60 years of extreme conditions. I want that chaga, because that, wouldn't you agree that that one would really really support the immune system, right? Something that endured 60 years of extreme conditions. That's what I want to ingest, you know. So my tinctures, I'm making a lot of my formulas, I have them in liquid as well. So I make tinctures. I actually get the herbs from where they are, and I make the tinctures in house, you know. So
And
yeah,
these mushrooms you're talking about used to be like reserved only for like royalty at one point. That's what I heard.
yeah, yeah,
Like they're
yeah.
no joke. Like these are like what kings used to eat.
Yes, exactly. Because it was like you had to go to remote places to get it, and even the places that I do get my mushrooms, they're cultivating them, and they're cultivating them in remote places. You have to 4 days, you got to take a boat, you got to cross this. There's a guy sitting there, and that's what he does. So they're still respecting the environment that is supposed to grow in. A lot of my Chinese herbs or Taoist herbs are from Ditao. Ditao is a region in China that, that they're growing the herbs according to traditional Chinese medicine. I have to wait for every order. I have to wait 4 to 6 months for it to be available. I'll wait. I'll wait for years for the right ingredient. I will not cut corners, and I will not play that game, which I've confronted several companies that supply herbs, and I call them and they're like, yeah, this is GMO, this is conventional. You want to buy it? What? You're selling medicine. What are you doing? Click. You know how many times I got clicks or like buy it, take it or leave it kind of thing, and you go on the shelf on Whole Foods, and I think people think you can trust them. But most of the herbs that are supplied, most of the supplements are very low grade, and they'll buy the ashwagandha that's grown in the U.S., but it's not supposed to be grown in the U.S. It's supposed to be grown in India. Leave it alone. Reishi can be cultivated in Washington State, but no, reishi is supposed to be in a certain region in China. That's where it came from.
It just seems like people, when they think of health, they like the masters. Like there's people like yourself. Like we could get into this too. How different herbs like when they're paired together actually help enhance them. Like there's like so much consciousness in this, and if you think about it, these plants are also alive. So when you really get to the higher levels of this stuff, it becomes more of a lifestyle. Like I'm before I purchase any vitamin, just like I do with my investment with crypto or these investments, like if I'm gonna buy a company stock, I'm gonna research every little thing. Who's the company owner? What is this company all about? What are they doing? Are they practicing what they preach? And I think it's important to do just as much due diligence because, like you said, there's so much fraud out there. So many people just trying to make a quick buck. Yeah, you see all this. All of a sudden, the mushrooms are the big. I go to a coffee shop, you get a shot of chaga in it. So it's a big buzzword, and people need to understand the culture behind it. There's a lot more to. It's like a
There's a lot.
lifestyle. Yeah, but it's an amazing lifestyle. Like I think I remember what I wanted to say. So about the mental side, so like the candle, like besides talking about this food, I heard that when you're like really stressed and you have a lot of fear and you're like not in a good state, a metaphor is that candle that we're talking about, almost the wax starts to like melt away faster, like you start losing your gene. So like the stress, like you said, that's like a huge aspect of the three treasures. Is that would you agree or?
1,000,000%. Stress is the killer. My acupuncturist says, look, we're not supposed to have problems. Stress is what makes it, what causes it. So, a stressful cell would reduce stress, reduces the longevity and the functionality and the effectivity of a human cell. So the cell, the physical body, the jing, the jing is depleted, then then it depletes the qi, and then depletes the illuminance, the shen. So it's a constant balance. It's a constant balance. It's not only herbs. And I tell people, look, I'm not going to give you any quick fix, or don't buy it if you want a quick fix. Don't. If you're looking for a quick fix, look somewhere else. Because I'm going to give you the whole picture.
That's part of the whole culture thing. Like they just expect it to be like a flip of the switch when you have to enjoy the whole process of getting a hot cup of lion's mane and sipping on it and learning about all these cordyceps and it's fun. I think it's fun. It's a cool hobby. But yeah, like people don't really they just think that they could drink one cup of lion's mane and they're gonna feel that their brain is growing and like have this weird experience. But I would say this, Oro Gold, from my experience, I do feel a difference like within a few days, like really quick. So I do feel that instant effect with Oro Gold. Because I live in the desert, so it's really hard to stay hydrated here. Like I have a really difficult time staying hydrated. And most of the time, you could see probably, but my lips are actually, for the first time, super moist. It sounds so weird to me saying, but my lips are like all hydrated and my skin is hydrated, and I fully believe it's from because I was drinking like a gallon of it a day. Like I was just drinking as much as I could. So I did feel like an instant effect from the Oro Gold.
Yeah, minerals are essential for hydration. So water, in order to hydrate, requires minerals. Minerals, in order to work, require water. So it's a synergistic effect. And you're right, you can drink a lot of reverse osmosis water and still feel thirsty because there's not enough minerals in the body for the water to be assimilated into the cells. Therefore, the cell is not hydrated. Therefore, people feel thirsty. So with all respect to a lot of bottled water, what do you get there? 7 minerals, and then what?
Bunch of
Not
plastic too.
yeah, yeah.
So out of your products, so the immunity herbals, we talked about the three treasures. Are there any other key products that like we should definitely know about on that website? I'm gonna put the links on the description when I post this, but what do you have?
Well, so just to say, I have about 100 different products at least, from teeth to skin to perfume to creams to immunity to mood to focus, to anxiety to depression, to all kind of formulas. They're all based on Chinese, Ayurvedic, and Thai medicines, as well as herbs from the Amazon. and the Middle East and Mediterranean. So pretty much the whole world. And immunity herbals, what we did when the corona started, the friends came over and said, look, you have too many products. Let's take 8 of them and create immunity herbals that will help people with their immunity during the corona, you know, and we'll support them. So I would say, and I brought a few here to show, I would say for immunity, for a daily use, and again, a small amount, because we got the 3 treasures we talked. Then we have Infinity 8. Infinity 8 is, it started with 8 mushrooms, 8 herbs. Now it's 11 mushrooms and 8 herbs. And these are mushrooms that were actually, I don't know if you can see with the light.
Yeah, I could see.
Yeah, I can't. So these were actually mushrooms that were researched to work in conjunction with chemotherapy. Like actual MDs use these mushrooms to help cancer patients. So those are highly immune boosting, immune regulating, anti-inflammatory mushrooms inside of it. And then we have the Ayurvedic, we call it. Ayurvedic is pretty much a collection of adaptogens and tonic herbs based on Ayurveda. So if the 3 treasures is Taoist, the Ayurvedic is Ayurvedic. So it's a different system, it's a different herbs. It's all great stuff. And then one that's a favorite of a lot of people is called the Sacred Sea. Sacred Sea has acerola cherry, elderberry, astragalus, cat's claw, hyssop, which is a biblical herb, and it has 2 types of frankincense. Now, frankincense, people don't know what the medicinal value is. Amazing. It clears the lungs. It's anti-anxiety. It helps IBS. It has vitamin C. It boosts the immune system. It's such an amazing herb. Now, I literally have a combination of 9 types of frankincense from the Middle East that I grind up the resin. I get the resin from the source. They send it to me in little Ziploc bags. It's like so precious. I grind it and I put it and I use it as an herb. It's amazing. Now, here's the thing. I don't claim anything. I'm going to tell you what people shared with me. People share with me that they had corona and this helped them through it. That's all I'm going to say. So it has, like I said, that 2 types of one frankincense extract, and then another combination of 8 types of resin. It has a little bit of lion's mane as well, and it's sweet. I put banana and mango powder, like freeze dried. So all these are the basic staples. I would say you would take this amount once or twice a day. And we got these spoons. I'll show you.
Can you make tea? Can you make teas out of them?
It's better to eat them the way they are.
Just eat it like that?
Because because they're extracts, they already went through a process of heating and extracting. So you want to they'll absorb right away on the tongue. According also to Chinese medicine, absorption starts on the tongue. Therefore, the body you want to get the taste. You want to feel the taste. Even, the 3 treasures, the other one's a little bitter. The Infinity tastes a little bit more like mushrooms. You want to get that taste, okay? Because that is key for absorption. These are the basic ones for immunity. And then if you have the minerals, have another mineral combination. It's oral with moringa and graviola or soursop. Which people listen to Dr. Sebi, soursop is used to people that had cancer. And moringa, also a very powerful superfood, immune boosting. So that's called a bioelectric. It's my version. It's oral with these other herbs. And then if we're talking about, there's several more. I don't know. You tell me how much do you want me to talk about.
Let's go into this. I have a few questions for you in the chat. Someone says, does that help get rid of the fluoride in the body? And that's actually going to be Auro Gold, right? Auro Gold does that. And
oral and this, yeah, as well. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, so the minerals help flesh out inorganic stuff, I believe. And that's like how we always used to drink water. Like we used to go to creeks and the water's been running against all these rocks. So there's going through a filtration process. And now we're getting all this like super clean water. It's too just like nowadays, like I believe everyone's getting too clean, like washing their hands way too much. And wearing all this protection stuff that you're not getting any germs, and the germs actually help boost your immune system. But I got one more. So someone said that their taste buds have actually changed. They said that they don't crave coffee in the morning anymore, and she said that's so weird. Does that happen? Like, I don't know anything about. I never heard of
It
that before.
happens because craving is an accumulation of toxicity, just like an addiction to drugs. So if the drug is still in, then the person will still crave it. So when they're drinking the water with the minerals, it's cleaning their body, and it's cleaning their body out of the accumulated toxicity. Therefore, they don't have that craving anymore. So
Wow.
definitely, yeah.
Man, I think it's almost been an hour. I think we covered a lot of the bases. I'm gonna put the links in the description below for all of your websites and everything. But what is very important? Like, what's most important for you to uh, end this segment? Like, is there anything that you'd like to share with the world, whoever watches this?
Well, a big thing that I choose to live my life according to is, I would say, a holistic view. Um, I avoid the quick fix mentality. I avoid the hype mentality, and I got comfortable with being uncomfortable. Or there's a saying that rich people learn to love what poor people hate to do. So our life here is multifaceted, and there's never a quick fix. It's always a daily maintenance, mental, emotional, and physical. And if a person chooses to incorporate all that on a daily basis, then for me, that is living the life like in its fullest. Like, what am I here to do? Evolve, first of all, inside, and then the diet and all the other herbs support that. So I always remember that my mission here is first the internal evolution, and not to get distracted by hype, by numbers, by this, by work, by that, by machinery, by devices, even by the herbs, you know. So the first is to evolve out of old conditioning, emotional issues, whatever it is that a person is dealing with in this life. That's what I believe we're supposed to deal with in order for the soul to evolve. And yeah.
I'll leave with this. The support has been incredible. I'll be honest. I
Thank
thought
you.
maybe 10 people would have bought the Auro Gold when we made that first episode, and I'm still getting messages all the time about it. So, as you know, we have a Telegram group. Um, Tons. We have almost 1,000 members in Telegram now. We're growing super fast. All that's free. All the information on this channel is free. The only thing that we have that you could actually spend money on are these products. And really, me and Adam, we get a small percentage, but you really you're investing into yourself, into your education, and then you're also helping this channel out as well. So this is the one way that you could actually support. We never ask for donations on this channel. If there is going to be a way you support this channel, it's going to be a way that you're supporting yourself by getting some top-notch herbs, because when the market gets stressful, you're gonna want to be have your three treasures charged up. Because that's gonna be that's why all these monks and these Tibetan warriors all took these herbs and took this very very seriously. So man, it was awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being on tonight, and I'm gonna share this everywhere and keep pushing all your products because I fully believe in it, and
Thank you.
notice all the changes in myself and all the supporters.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. Good night.